How much can Smith contribute next season?
Before I answer that question, Skip, you remember in the previous block, I said there have been two quarterbacks that thrown for 40-plus touchdowns at least twice. I said Manning and Dan Marino. Brought to my attention, Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers has since done it also. So those are four guys, but none of those were at the age of 40, let alone 43, which your guy's going to be. How much can Aldon Smith, a guy that's been away from the league for over 4 years, how much can he help? Wow. Skip, I wish him the best. I really do. But it's hard for me to believe a guy that's been away from the league for 4 years, a guy that's given his history, because statistics say guys that's been suspended multiple times, guys that's laid off this time, they repeat said behavior. So I wish him the best. I hope he's turned the corner. He has his demons at bay one day at a time. But Skip, if you're going into a season and you're counting on a guy that's been away from the game for 4 years to be a major contributor, how desperate are you? I mean, normally guys come in, you count on a rookie. Oh, but the guy played last year in college. Or you count on the guy that you got somewhere or somebody's been promoted to starting. You don't normally count on a guy that's been away from the entire NFL for 4 years coming back being a major player. So it just goes to show you. And Randy Gregory also filed for reinstatement. He's been away for 2 years. What they're trying to do is that they're trying to recapture the production that they lost when they lost Robert Quinn. And so they're hoping that between these two, they can give us double-digit sacks, what Robert Quinn gave us last year. Skip, I really, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that Aldon Smith has turned the corner and he can get his life on track. But I got to see it. I got to see it to believe it because he's been away for 4 years and he's been a repeat offender. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a second chance. This is not a second chance. This is a third, possibly fourth, maybe even a fifth chance. But nah, Skip, I can't trust him. And that's it in a nutshell. I can't trust him.
I don't blame you for your conclusion. But I got to tell you, as desperate as I might be right now for that other defensive end across from DeMarcus Lawrence, that bookend end, as much as I don't even know if Aldon Smith or Randy Gregory will get reinstated by next football season.
True.
I'm starting to believe that Aldon Smith, if he does get reinstated, is going to be a contributor to next year's Dallas Cowboys. In fact, I believe so strongly in Jay Glazer, our man, that I'm starting to believe that Aldon Smith is going to be a very good player next year for the Dallas Cowboys after missing 4 straight football seasons and with a track record that is deplorable, abominable. I got all that. But Jay Glazer is not prone to overreaction. He's not prone to throwing you-know-what against the wall and hoping it sticks. Jay Glazer has been doing this for a long, long time, and he's arch-conservative when it comes to verifying his reporting. Well, this is firsthand reporting because Jay is an overseer of this organization called MVP, Merging Vets and Players, in which players help vets with their reentry into society issues, and conversely, vets help players with their issues. And according to Jay, and I'm going to take this to my bank, that he's saying that not only has Aldon Smith not missed a meeting in 9 months, but that he is sharing his issues and his problems with up to 100 people at these meetings just open-heartedly. And according to Jay, he's just not the same guy I met 9 months ago. He's a totally different guy. Okay, I've seen that happen. I watched my mother do that. I watched her turn her life completely around through Alcoholics Anonymous. She had to give up a lot of things. She had to give up a lot of her ego, but she turned her life completely around. And maybe Aldon has also. And then let's take it into the gym, because Jay runs Unbreakable Performance, where Aldon has been working out with Jay on many occasions. And Jay says that He's got him up to 287 pounds, approximately, let's say 30 pounds more than Aldon played at in the years in which, for 4 years, 260-ish, he was as dominating a pass rusher as there was in pro football. And now, says Jay Glazer, Aldon has trained his butt off. He is completely rocked up. His conditioning is great, very low body fat. And Jay even went into that he was freaking monstrous in one drill that they have with a machine that's attached to the wall called the Raptor, and that in so doing this drill with this machine, that Aldon Smith ripped it completely off the wall. They've had lots of pro football players train on this machine, and nobody's ever done that before. So Jay is saying he's ready to play football again. Is it a long shot after 4 years because you just lose your sort of football muscles, your football rhythm? Maybe, but I got to tell you, if you've turned your life around and your body around, I'm starting to love his chances to come from nowhere back to everywhere in Dallas, Texas, playing right defensive end for America's team. So because of Jay Glazer, I'm willing to bet on Aldon Smith.
Well, Skip, what you're telling me is because he came, Tomasula was his coach. He was a linebacker, and they played in the 3-4. At 287, basically, you're telling me he's going to play a 5 technique, kind of what J.J. Watt plays. If people can understand that without trying to get too complicated, Skip, and 5 technique, 7 technique. Basically, he's going to play a position what J.J. Watt plays. J.J. Watt plays in a 3-4 defense. He's a defensive end, what we call a 5 technique. So that seems to be what he's going to play if he's up to that kind of size, because that's probably what J.J. Watt weighs. Watt probably weighs somewhere between 80 and 90. So I'm saying, so he's at the higher end of, 287, just right around 290. Skip, like I said, for me, it goes back to this. I want to be able to trust them. But see, unlike the Bible teaches us, they say, God says, trust me and I'll show you. I'm man. Show me and I'll trust you. That's how I am. See, God says, trust me and I'll show you. Well, I'm not him. I'm man. Show me and then I'll trust you. I got to see it first, because I've seen too many times where people have put their faith and their trust in Aldon Smith, and he's let them down. Skip, on any job, if your bosses can trust you, they'll believe in you. And when you come in a crisis, there's like, I trust this guy. It didn't happen, or it didn't happen, and I trust him, I trust her. Skip, I just can't. I can't trust him. I believe he deserves a 5th chance or whatever it is. And I know some of the things that he's done, people are like, well, no. It's kind of like with any job, Skip. If you're good at something, whether you deserve it or not, people will give you an opportunity. And don't just think this is in the sports world. This is in the business world also. If you're good at trading, if you're good at finances, and you get dismissed from one job, if you're really good at that, Skip, you'll go get another job somewhere else. That's just the way it works in society. It's called supply and demand. If you're good at something, there's a demand, you can be that supply for. But, Skip, I just can't trust him. I'm sorry. I wish him the best. I hope he comes. Hell, I like to see him get 10, 15 sacks, make the Pro Bowl. But I believe it when I see it. 4 years, Skip, you remember Josh Gordon left. Skip, he led the league in receiving yards and missed 2 games. He missed that time. He was never the same, Skip. And Josh Gordon was 24, 25 when he did this. This young man is coming back at the age of 31. I just don't see it.
Okay, I got you. And for those who have lost track of this, Aldon Smith was suspended multiple times for violating the substance abuse policy and the personal conduct policy. He had domestic violence issues. He obviously had drug issues. He had weapons charges. He had all manner of this, that, and the other. Just about everything you could have on a rap sheet, he's got it this side of actually killing somebody. It was as bad a rap sheet as we've ever seen in the National Football League. But it feels like in a 4-year hiatus that he's turned that around. So you could be right, Shannon. I'm not going to leap completely to a conclusion here. I'm just going to bet on Jay Glazer. And Jay concluded what he wrote in his mailbag for The Athletic with the fact that Aldon Smith is an absolute freak of nature. Well, he always was. He was coming out of the University of Missouri. Yeah. He what was he, the seventh? Was he a seventh overall pick? I forget. He was somewhere up high in the draft. Seventh overall pick. But the point is, in
2011.
So he was a freak of nature, and he still could be if he's turned his life around. And the point is that he has seen the light in ways that maybe Antonio Brown hasn't yet seen the light. Maybe Antonio hasn't hit bottom yet. Aldon Smith hit bottom, and he realized that the ability to sign even a $2 million base deal with $2 million in SAC incentives is a miracle. It's a blessing. That's when he posted the picture of him signing the deal with the Dallas Cowboys. It was, I'm blessed and I'm thankful, and he should be, because this is by the grace of God that he got to this point. So I think he's going to seize the chance. But you're right. History would tell you that in many of these cases, these guys will fail again. But I think he gets it. I think he's got it. I think he's going to stay with it. And I just have a feeling that he's going to be able to contribute in some level, some way, shape, or form, even if he's alternating with Randy Gregory next year, that he will give them some quality reps on defense next year.
Skip, he got off to the start. You got to realize Aldon Smith was drafted 7th overall in the 2011 draft. What people don't realize, Skip, think about this. Von Miller, J.J. Watt, Richard Sherman, Julio Jones, Tyron Smith, Pat Peterson was all in that draft, and they all made the all-decade team. Aldon Smith had more sacks than Von Miller and J.J. Watt to start his career. That's the kind of projection. That's the kind of talent he was. Think about the names that I just mentioned. Aldon Smith could have absolutely been an all-decade player, but he got sidetracked. So the ability was there. No one, Skip, you don't get drafted 7th overall and then put up the numbers that he put up by accident. Clearly you're talented. First of all, anybody that comes into the NFL of 7 billion people, there's only like 1,900 of you that do what you do. So you're freakish. You're super talented. But it's the guys that Aldon Smith had an ability, Skip, to go to another level that a lot of guys, he had an opportunity to be a 1%er. I'm talking about guys that had an opportunity to get a gold bust at the end of the tunnel in Canton. He had that kind of ability. That's where Aldon Smith was headed. Mm-hmm. If he can get, Skip, if he can just be 55, 60% of what he was, keep his nose, stay on the straight and narrow, well, Dallas might have stumbled on something.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.